Hi, my name's Peter Benson and I've worked at the college now for just over 40 years in fact, but during that time I've actually had numerous different roles. I started as a technician and then later went into lecturing, and then ultimately now I've reached the phase where I'm actually teaching part-time, and I've obviously built up my own studio, my design studio. I've got a photography studio, and I do this freelance work in addition to coming into college. But I've always enjoyed the student contact aspect of working in education, working with people with very exciting, very clever ideas, keeps you on your toes and keeps you thinking about issues that are coming up, new issues in design and of course in new technology. So some of the work, if you're interested ever in going into photography, you've got to think of what pays the bills. You've got to think about what sort of work do you enjoy doing, but that may not necessarily bring in any specific income. Sometimes, however, there are outlets that you'll find that you can use to showcase your work. So you may not get any funding from that. However, somebody may see your work and then may wish to use it in a particular situation. Oh, the most enjoyable part, I think, is coming into college every week and not knowing quite what you're going to find. You know, there's always an interesting aspect to the job. There are always things going on, different times of the year, different events are happening. Sometimes, particularly at this time of year, we're running towards the final shows, so everybody's gearing themselves to that. When we start the year, it's new projects, new clients, going out on site, so it does vary considerably. The other thing to remember, working in education, you're in an institution where the cohort changes every 2 to 3 years. So as the students go through, it makes a considerable difference to the type of work that's coming out, the personalities that come into your life, and then you see them go on and hopefully do great and good things. Difficult to talk about money really, because it depends on the budget that the client has, you know, how early you are into your career, whether you're trying to get your work showcased. It's hard to put a value on it. You need to look at the job and work out how long it's going to take you to do it. You need some sort of estimate of how many hours is it going to consume, so you can charge a reasonable hourly rate. But the client, their budget is a big factor. Some of the commercial work that I was mentioning that I'd undertaken, the stuff that actually pays the bills, are working for organisations which nevertheless are still very interesting people to deal with. Steam magazine would be one of them. Steam produce this catalogue every year, and there are images featured in there, and as they change the exhibitions, they obviously need to change the catalogue. So the magazines are basically about showcasing new photographers, new designers, new writers, their work. You don't get paid for having your work put in publications like this. But as a showcase, what they do is they sit on the desk of art directors all around the world. So the image I was showing you was picked up, and this is part of the same series, by an agency working for Mohawk Papers in San Francisco.